Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Aurogiri. I'd just like to say thanks for all the attention the channel's been getting. I've noticed a big increase in the amount of views I get on a video per day. It's pretty awesome. I usually make about 1 or 2 videos and I'm actually getting like more than like 15 views, you know? Things are starting to keep rolling and going in motion, you know, everything's getting pretty good. So, today's video is going to be about the gems in the new update. More specifically, the Scarlet and Myrtle gems. When we first looked at the update, you know, we can go in the wiki and look at what's coming because we have the luxury of being behind PC. You know, we looked at the Severance and the 105 mags and the veteran and all that stuff, and we're like, oh well, we just need gems, and apparently everything drops gems, so gems are going to be so easy to get and we won't have to worry about gems. And here we are like 2-3 weeks into this new update with gems, and we're just like, how in the hell do you get gems? Because gems are like the luckiest, like, it's crazy. Gems are like the new Satan weapon, but not really. It's like rarer than a Satan weapon, but less rare than a cross recipe. Like, they're just annoying. They're like the same drop chance as getting a mag off of the boss, but even that happens now because mags do drop off bosses because you need them for the 105s, and it's very weird. Like, the drop rates are very, very weird for gems and the 105s and all that stuff. So this video is titled How to Get Gems, but it's going to be talking about, you know, how to get gems and what are gems used for, and, you know, all things gems. So, as I said, we have the Scarlet gem and the Myrtle gem. Later we'll get other gems, but right now, and we have Cerulean. I'm sorry. There is Scarlet, Myrtle, and Cerulean. I keep, like, my 105 recipe doesn't use Ceruleans, so I forget about Ceruleans. So there's 3 kinds of gems. I knew there was 3. Okay, so the Scarlet, Myrtle, and Cerulean. So depending on which class you are, you know, spear, sword, axe, etc., etc., your 105 recipe is going to require 1 Myrtle gem and either 2 Scarlets or 2 Ceruleans. So the Thunderquake recipe, which I have, which is the only 105 recipe I have, which is the one I needed. Oh, she is wearing some nice clothes there, Miss Canary. Let's go talk to Kaguya. Hello, Kaguya. You'll do your best at breaking my mags. Okay. So Thunderquake Mogatama, you're going to need a lot of Mogatamas for it, and you're going to need gems. So as you can see here, I have 3 Myrtle gems. I actually got 3 Myrtle gems farming last night. Like, I didn't pop any boosts or anything. It was just random. And we farmed for about 2-3 hours, something like that. That's what it felt like. We had a lot of DCs. It was annoying. You know. So I got my gems down. That one guy yesterday is going to be like, stop yawning, you need more sleep. And I'll be like, but Onigiri and gems. But anyway, so I need 1 Scarlet, and I have my Myrtles down. So with 3 Myrtle gems, I have enough to technically create 3 Thunderquake Mogatamas, which is the dream. So it doesn't show here, but you know, I have 1 Cancer, 1 Leo, 1 Sagittarius, 1 Log, 1 Cockatoo. I actually just need 1 other Cancer and 1 other Log and 1 more Cockatoo, and I could have enough Mogatamas for the second. This week I've been farming Naki Cave for mags because I think it's the best place to get mags for the 105s. Bar some classes need to go and get like early mags like the Inari and the Sugi and stuff like that. Naki Cave has been great to us. We've farmed it every day this week on login. Sometimes we pop a 200, sometimes we don't, because I got some from the campaign. You know, I've gotten a Leo sense and I've gotten a Furi sense, so that's awesome. Which the Thunderquake affects Spear. So if I hover over Thunderquake, it is the 105 recipe for Spear, 45 Chakra, 60% skill force to all your rank 5s, so basically every skill. Because, you know, I'm going to use skill evolution and skill cards. And if you're under 50% health, you gain an additional 40 skill force. So 100% skill force if you're within that threshold. You get extra lightning element, it takes away some mountain element, and it gives you 10 crit force. They are arguably the best mags that we have access to. So gems are needed for today's topic is gems, by the way, Wolfpack. So you know, you need gems to make these mags. Like my friend Cluster, he's had these mags ready because he's been looking at the not the Thunderquake, but his Talon Breaker, since he's a wand user. He's been looking at that stuff since like December, November, February. He looked way ahead into the game. So he had all the mags he needs as a wand user ready. But he thought, oh, I'm just going to get them in like 3 days and gems will be easy. And, well, he's only at 2 things because he can't get gems. He's at two Talon Breakers so far. You know, so gems they turn out to be really difficult to get. So it doesn't show here because I don't have any cerulean gems or any recipes that take ceruleans, but I currently have 2 cerulean gems, 1 scarlet gem, and 3 myrtle. So when it comes to me making my Thunderquakes, I have my myrtles down. I only need 1 myrtle per recipe, so I got them out of the way. That's great. Last night was good to me. Oh yes, a lot of my friends have 105s. My friend Hotaru has the Skyrending mag 105. Cluster has 2 Skyrending mags. My friend Suzaku, I believe, also has 2, not Skyrending, I'm sorry, 2 Talon Breakers. You know, a lot of my friends have the recipes, but only so few of us have crafted them. Excuse me for yawning. I didn't really eat anything yet. A little tired, but you know, I thought, you know, might as well make a video while I'm up. So, you know, gems are needed for 105s. But that's not the only thing gems are used for. Like, come on, that'd be the perfect world. No, no, no. So, oh, I can go talk to Yoshitsune now. So, where was I going with this? Yes, so what else are gems used for? So if we go to weaponsmithing. Yeah, weaponsmithing. I believe... Oh, Jaw says hi, Oro. I'm gonna say hi to him in a minute. Where are gems? Gems. They're in here somewhere. So if we look at the Ballbuster Severance. So the Severance weapons also require gems. Severances are weapons that require new weapons, and you have to get their recipe, and they're sort of like Satan weapons, but they're kind of more annoying since you can't just specifically farm them, and it's a big hassle. So you need like 6 of one weapon type or 7. Oh, excuse me. And then you're gonna need 2 of one gem and 3 of another. They're actually more... They use more gems than the 105s, so they're kind of undesirable right now. Like, they're the last priority on the list. Like, they're like, you shouldn't really touch Severance right away. You know, it takes 2 cerulean, so it says here I have 2 cerulean. It's going to take 3 scarlets and a bunch of ballbusters. So I ain't touching that. It's an axe, but, you know, it's what I have. I have another one I got yesterday. I've gotten it multiple times. Is the Nekogiri Samehada Severance. I have 1 of these weapons. That's why this is lighting up. No, I only have 1, not a billion. And it's the same thing. 2 ceruleans, 3 scarlets. I'm currently unaware if it's the same for everything, where it's 2 ceruleans, 3 scarlets. But that's a lesson for another day. That's all I have for Severance recipes currently. But they do also take gems. A lot more gems than mags. And then... So there's the Severance, the 105s, and then there are the veteran weapons that also require gems. I don't know why I'm yawning. This is weird. So, okay. So gems can either make or break a player. You know, when it came to Satan weapons, there was no gems. You just needed his drops. Like, Satan weapons are way better than gems. Like, crosses, as long as you get the recipe, that's easy. You can get the recipe for these 105 mags, a Severance, all this stuff, and you're just gonna get, like, I need gems. What's the level requirement for the Severance weapon, and what are veteran weapons? Okay, Severance weapons are level 108 weapons. They're, like, alternative to crosses, in a way. They're very similar to crosses. They're like, as I'm gonna say, a Severance is as powerful as a star, but they have different elements. Like, crosses are more powerful than Severances on average, but Severances are still there for the taking. They're just another option. I have one of the weapons on me needed for a Severance. This is the Galale. This is the Galale bow. I don't know what element it gives me. I can't remember. But it's a red bow. It's like the Gare, but it's red. You need to collect 7 of each Severance and smelt, like, you smelt 1 up to 30 and then 2 up to 20. So you need 3 base, and then you smelt 2 in to get it to 30. So we're at 5, and then you need 1 to get the other to 20, and then another 1 to get them to 20. So you need 7 of each Severance, assuming none of them fail. Smelts. Now, some people say, well, I'm going to Artisan Sword. And it's like, no, you're an Artisan Sword and a Severance. You know why? Because you're going to Artisan Sword the Severance after. That's like Artisan Sorting to make a star, or Artisan Sorting to make a cross. It's kind of, well, you know, you don't need to. It's kind of redundant because you're going to have to use those Artisans on the finished product. So veteran weapons are the 113 weapons. When you get to, well, we have 8 viewers. This is awesome. So when you get to Tanegashima, and you do all your side quests, I haven't done it yet because, you know, I'm focusing on my 105 max first. I'm in no hurry. The veteran weapons are the level 113 weapons. So what you have to do for these is, there's going to be an old man in Tanegashima who says, hey, I can improve these weapons. I have a side quest for you. So what you want to do is, to access this side quest, you have to complete all of the, I believe it's every dungeon in Tanegashima Eastern Fields. You have to complete them all on the Hell difficulty. So I think it's the Lightning New dungeon, the Tanuki dungeon, the I think it's the Worm in Onigashima. I'm not too sure. But there's 4 dungeons you need to complete on Hell, and one of them is the one with the big lantern. I don't know if House of Hino was counted or not, but there's a total of 4 Tanegashima dungeons you have to complete on Hell. So once you've completed them all on Hell and you go back to this guy, he'll let you do the veteran weapons side quest. So how do you get veteran weapons? To get a veteran weapon, you're going to need any one of the 105 weapons. So what I mean by 105s, I don't mean Ichimoji Sarai, I mean Galardia, Brigandia, Skyrending, or no, Air Cleaving Sword, Crossvolt, Bloodsucker, that Heavenly Moon Axe thing that axes get. You know, you're gonna need the crafted 105s. So I'm gonna try and find it on the wiki. So let me see if I can look this up, because this is a big misconception. So let me look up Rising Crossvolt. Rising Crossvolt is the name of the enhanced Crossvolt. It is a twin sword. So when you go here, it's gonna tell you it's not a craftable weapon, it's an identifiable weapon. So when you complete this quest, I'm gonna tell you the ingredients, what you need for it soon. But I'm gonna click on Improved Weapon Twin Blades because that's the quest. So this quest, it says, as promised, I'll supply you with some of my finest works. Bring me, oh my god. Bring me 3 cerulean gems, 3 scarlet gems, 3 myrtle gems, and a crossbolt. Do that and a whole new weapon will be born. So this is an infinitely repeatable quest, although it is a very difficult to complete quest. So what most people think is like, oh, improved weapons twin blade. This is going to be awesome. I'm going to give him my crossbolt and he's going to give me a rising crossbolt. Wrong. He will not give you, like, there is a 12.5% chance you will get the veteran weapon you want. If you go and build up a crossbolt and want to give him a crossbolt, the chances of you, like, he gives you a random weapon that Shizuka will identify for you. You could give him twin swords and be rewarded with the bloodsucker, the phantom bloodsucker, like the advanced version of the staff. You could get the sword. You give him one thing, and he'll give you any random thing. On average, you're probably gonna have to give him 4 different weapons to get the veteran weapon of your choice. Now, I say 4 different because, you know, it's a 50-50 chance. But in reality, you'd have to give them 8 different ones, or just 8. You have to complete this quest 8 times to try and get your weapon. They are the, like, second most powerful weapons in our current game. But at the same time, they're very difficult to get. It's super RNG. It's super bullshit. So, apparently the best way to get around this is you can make any veteran weapon you want. You know, you can make any 105 and trade it in and hope that you get your weapon back. So, what a lot of us want to do is we looked at all the recipes and which ones were the easiest to make. Now, if you were a bow user and if you ever look at the disruptor recipe, what would be the most powerful? What would be the most powerful? So let me just finish this thought and I'll get back to you. Now, if you ever look at the bow recipe for their 105, the disruptor, which is probably one of the best weapons to put the highest punishment on it because of its impact element. The disruptor's recipe, I'm going to go bring it up just because to show you how stupid it is. Yoshitsune, let's go look at disruptor. Weaponsmithing. I have it in here somewhere, so make it easy. Load up bow. Bow. Disruptor. So if we look at the disruptor, you need a plus 45 Glazer 1, which is the juncture weapon. You need 5 Gyuki horns, which are easier to get now. Before it was a pain. Then you're going to need 5 Tengu feather fans, 30 Tengu exhales, 15 chaos wasabi, 8 armor territory, no one cares about that. 5 fruits of transients, and 25 piercing stones. Fruits, a pain in the ass to get. Wasabis, pain in the ass. Tengu, we don't like fighting Tengu. Gyuki horn, even harder to get. This was literally the hardest recipe to get. So let's say you build up this disruptor, you know, you find out about the veterans, like, oh, I can get the new disruptor? Awesome, I can't wait to trade that in. You trade it in, he gives you the Gallardio sword. You're like, I can't use this. Don't build the disruptor if you plan on trading. If you plan on trading anything in, don't build it. Don't throw in the disruptor. Don't do it. You're gonna be wasting your time. The axe. No, I don't have the axe one. I don't. Spear. I never got Brigandia recipe, so I can't look at that. I never got the Bloodsucker recipe on this character, so I can't look at that. I never got the I did get the Garborg recipe. Now Garborg is another one you don't want to trade in. You need 80 crushed nails. You need a plus 46 Brionac. You need Withering Spirits, whatever. Spike Collar, whatever. Spider Silk, the biggest, the worst thing, one of the worst things in the game to get, Spider Silk. You need 10 of those. You need, it's not as bad as, after you look at Disruptor, it's not that bad. You need 10 Spider Silk and you need 80 crushed nails. But at the same time, it's still a pain to get. You're not going to do Garborg. There's no way. Basically, the point I'm getting with this is if you make a 105 weapon, you're better off just keeping that 105 weapon, because later on in the game, you're going to need it to make an even better weapon. So don't trade in your weapon. That's my point to make there. But let's go look at the one that's the easiest to make. There's 2 of them. We have the Air Cleaving Sword. Air Cleaving Sword. You farm Plover Pit in easy dungeon now to get Seshoshiki fragments, or you do Juncture. You know, I'm at 15 of them. It's alright. It's not too bad. You need 5 Tengu Exhales. That's a lot better than Disruptor, because you only need 5 of these, and not 30 of another thing. You need 2 Doppelganger Mushrooms. You get them from Veronica. Easy peasy. Diamond Dust is an easy drop. Quiet Zeal, easy drop. Peerless Crest, ACM, whatever. And 60 Cutting Stones. I mean, it's 60 Cutting Stones. At least it's not like an impossible to get boss drop. And then you're going to need a level 65 Nodachi. The Nodachi is identifiable bronze from Kishinden. You just run Kishinden on hell for like 3 hours. You'll get 99 of these things, and you just smelt them up. Like, you won't even care if it fails. I mean, you will, because it's an annoying process, but it's a lot better than trying to smelt up a juncture weapon. You know, the Brigandia needs the Geno Buster at plus 45. You ain't touching my Geno Buster, you can piss off. You know? And then lastly, there is the Bloodsucker, which I don't have the recipe for, but it is the staff. And apparently from what I heard from PC players and just the, you know, the general consensus on PS4, is that the Bloodsucker is the weapon you're going to want to build and trade in because it is the easiest one to craft. So I'm going to look up Bloodsucker on the wiki. Bloodsucker. So let's look at the Bloodsucker, what you need. I've never actually looked at it in completion, or like, you know, everything. You're going to need a plus 57 Catechus. A Catechus is a normal staff that is identifiable really early in game. It is also a lower smelt level than the Nodachi. So, you know, you got that going for you. There's less chance for it to break. You need 3 Quiet Zeals. So, you know, we needed 5 for the air cleaving. You don't need 3 for this. 10 Lifespan Candles. Awesome. That's really easy to get. Like, oh my god. You need 4 Lively Bulbs. Now, Lively Bulb is a hard thing to get, but at least you don't need 12. Like, what was it? The Disruptor needed you to have 15 Chaos Wasabi. 4 Lively Bulbs is probably a little bit easier to get. You need 10 Cursed Bloods, and Cursed Blood is hard to get, but in the new dungeons in Tanegashima, there is a dungeon where you walk in and there are like 4 lightning wheels. So you just walk in, kill the first 4 things, you get, you know, you're gonna get some Cursed Blood. Eventually, if you might get 1 Cursed Blood a run, or you just gotta run it 4 times and you get it. And you're gonna need 40 Miracle Stones. That's gonna, you know, you just make Purity Mags and you get Miracle Stones. It's just how it works. You know, you go to Izumo, you just kill all the field mobs, get 1 billion drops, you build Purity Mags, you build like 80 Purity Mags, you break them all down, chances are you're going to get some Miracle Stones from that. That's how you get Miracle Stones. So you get the Miracle Stones, and then you're going to need 30 Dark Stones, easy peasy. You just got to do some daily search, you'll get your Dark Stones. So if you make the Bloodsucker and the Air Cleaving are the easier ones to make. They're not too bad. So, you know, because they don't need a smelted weapon to craft them. So those are the 2 weapons you just spend a week or so building up. Like, let's say you get 3 Bloodsuckers, or 1 Bloodsucker, 1 Air Cleaving. You know, whatever you got the materials for. You just save them up, and then once you have them, you complete that quest, you trade it in. You trade in the Bloodsucker. Worst case scenario, you get a Phantom Bloodsucker. Best case scenario, you get what you want. Like, it's like they're very powerful, but they're quite the biatch to get. So, and you're gonna need 9 gems for each attempt. It's not just build one of these and trade it in. You need 9 gems. So, you know, that's the importance of gems. You're gonna need them for your 105 Mogatamas, which you should prioritize first. Use your gems for your Mogatamas first, then make your other stuff. You know, I would say do your 105 mags and then do your 113s. Worry about your severances last. Unless for some reason all the severance recipe stuff just falls on your lap and you're ready to make the one of your choice. Like, if I literally had 7 Gay Valgas and I can make a Gay Valga severance, I'd be on that train right now. Oh, I love the Gay Valga. It's a beautiful spear. Oh my god. But unless just everything falls into place, I would prioritize 105 mags, then the veteran weapons, then the severance when it comes to gems. So as I said, gems are a bitch to make. So before I do that, I'm going to answer Wolfpack's question. What would be the most powerful? Out of severance and veterans, veterans are by far the most powerful. Just to look up, like yesterday I did the Odachi video and we looked at the Skyrending Sword, the evolved form of the Air Cleaving Sword. It's one of the most beautiful 113s I've ever seen in my life. The sword is like, it's probably going to have like 7,000-8,000 base attack. I can't really look at it, but it's going to have a lot of attack. It's a level 113 weapon, if that doesn't put it into perspective. The crosses and the severance are 108s. How do you get Hunter Max? I'll tell you that in 1 second, Lollipop. So, if you ever look at the Skyrending Sword, the thing has like 50 Holy, 50 Slice, and 40 Fire. That element alone is enough to just be awesome. They have all that stuff. They give you SP reduction. Like, they're going to give you 3 elements. They're going to be stronger than the normal versions of their weapons. And they're going to have some bonus effect. And they do lots of damage. So if I look up the Rising Crossvolt, which is one I hope I get the Rising. I'd like to get the Rising Crossvolt, to be honest. The Rising Crossvolt is 25 Slice, 25 Holy, 28% HP and SP reduction, and they give you 20 Dexterity. Now, one thing I forgot to mention is, aside from all these buffs, they still give you additional skill force. So just having a 113 will give you 10% crit or skill force to that weapon type. So that's nice. And while you're at 95% health or higher, so basically full health, you'll get an additional 5% skill force. Or no, you'll get an additional 20%. So just having one and being at full health will give you an additional 30% skill force. They're going to give you points to your element. Oh, the Crossvolt does at least. So 20 dexterity. So the same thing as a star. Plus it's going to give you skill force. Plus it's going to give you element. They're like, you know, they're better than the cross weapons. Cross weapons are still awesome because of all the points they give you, but veterans are very good. And as for the Rising Crossvolt with its 25 Holy and Slice element, that's like, you know, that's Misty Massacre, and that's Sunlight Strike, and that's Spirit Blast. It's like everything I want to use on Twin Swords. And it's Thunder Beast too, because of Slice element. They're very good. So in answer to your question, Lollipop Senpai, how to get Hunter Mags, the best way to get Hunter Mags right now is to farm Azami Crossing on hard. You know, 4 to 5 player, or like 1 to 5 players. If you farm Azami Crossing on hard, the drop chance for mags is greater because you're playing on hard, and Hunter Mags generally, like all the dual mags tend to drop in Azami Crossing and Wara Bazooka, but I believe Azami Crossing has the lowest drop table, so you're only going to get like the old 105s, like from Echigo, not 105s, I'm sorry, the dual mags. So if you farm Azami Crossing on hard, chances are the mags you're going to see are either some random stupid mags, or you're going to get like Ronin, Hunter, what other ones were there? There's Ronin, and there was Hunter, and then there's Magic. I think those are the 3 dual mags we had before, because now we have Pressure Point and Log and other stuff. But if you farm, I generally believe that Azami Crossing on hard is the best way to get Hunter Mags. You have to farm the dungeon. So this video is about gems. So we talked about what gems are for. Now we're going to talk about the best ways to get gems. This person apparently whispered me. I can't read that. What did they say? Chief Keef is asking me for Anka Forest. Would you be up for Juncture? How do you get Hunter Mags? He's asking me how to get Hunter Mags. Lucky Quasar. Is that you, Lollipop? Are you Lucky Quasar? Are you Lucky Quasar? I don't know. Even if you aren't, I'm gonna tell them to farm Azami hard. Hi, Faze Kane. Or Phase. Hello. Oh, you are? Okay. Well, I'm telling you to farm it again. Farm Azami hard. Okay. So, the best ways to get gems. So, as you can see, I am lucky. Okay. So, as you saw earlier, I currently have 2 Ceruleans, 3 Myrtles, and 1 Scarlet. So I have to know what I'm doing at some point in time to get gems. So if we go back to just where to get gems, let me look this up again. Scarlet gem. Scarlets are one of the most desirable because I believe that 6 out of the 8 recipes require Scarlets and the other 2 require Cerulean. Don't quote me on that, I might be wrong, but I think I know that the Wand 105 recipe and the Spear both require Scarlets. The Sword requires a Scarlet. So Wand, Spear, Sword all require Scarlets, and the Twin Swords require Scarlets. But then there is the Odachi and the bow that require ceruleans. And I'm unsure about the axe and the staff. So I'll look that up now. I have no idea what those are called, actually. The staff is called the crucifix. I know that one. Crucifix? Maybe? How do you spell crucifix? Crucifix. Mogatama. Crucifix Mogatama requires ceruleans. So now we have a third one for cerulean. So we have... Okay. So, I mean, I don't know why anyone would want to build the staff one anyway, but, I mean, that's beyond me. Then what's the axe? It's called the Raretsu. Right? Raretsu? Raretsu. What is that? Why is my dad calling me? He's not getting an answer because I'm making a video. And then we have the Raretsu, which is also cerulean. So it is a 50-50 split. So ceruleans and scarlets are both equally desired. So that makes this a lot easier. So for the most part, unless you're, you know, axe, odachi, staff, or bow, you're gonna want scarlets unless you're them. But if you are them, you're gonna want ceruleans. So let's talk about where to get each. This is the main point of the video. I know it's been 30 minutes in, but I want to explain what the gems are for before I tell you where to get them, so you actually watch and learn before you just go, oh, I gotta go do this, you know? So the best places, we've tried a bunch of different dungeons to get a bunch of different gems. So cerulean gems, in my experience, the best place to get cerulean gems is the mine of Bia Cook, or whatever it's called, the first place in Oshu Highway. The place with the new, with like 1 billion health. I got both my ceruleans off that boss, and it is also possible to get cerulean gems off of the new mobs in the dungeon. The little rock bush guys who throw rocks at you and they kill you like instantly. My friend Cluster has gotten 1 cerulean gem off those mobs, and he's gotten quite a few off of the boss. All of mine have been off the boss. So that dungeon there is going to be the best place for people who need ceruleans. Now, ceruleans drop off of, you know, gems entirely. They will drop off bosses and mobs. Now, it's a much lower chance for them to drop off mobs, but if they're in the same dungeon as the boss, chances are you'll kill so many of them that you'll get gems along the way. Gems are not going to be in a special bag or anything. They are a blue drop. So whenever you see a blue drop off any mob, please check to see if you got a gem. So I'm going to pull up Cerulean, Myrtle, and Scarlet on the wiki, and we're just going to look at where to get each of them. Scarlet. Okay, so let's start with Myrtle, the one universal gem that everyone needs. Now, yesterday when I have 3 Myrtles. I got all 3 of my Myrtles yesterday off of one boss. That boss was the Jiro Spider, or as we know, she is the Opie Spider. You know, she's got some big Opies. And, you know, we fought her probably about 2-3 hours, and I got 3 Myrtles, and yes, the other day when we farmed it, I got 1 Scarlet. So we're going to keep farming the spider, especially this weekend. Fever's coming, by the way. Hooray! We don't know if it's 50 or if it's 100. It was 50 last time. We're hoping for 100 or more. That would be the dream. 100 fever? Oh my god. Yes. So, Myrtle gems. I'm going to see if there's a comment, because usually people post comments about gems and they explain things. Yes. So, someone here, Fury, if ever Furion makes a post on the wiki, they're like an admin, or so I'm told, so you should trust what they say. What is an attack? Okay, so what do they say? Adding on to this, I may have missed some regular mobs here. Whew. So. They have a lot of drop tables here. There are very low percents for them to show up, by the way. Gems. My friend Hirai has been trying to get his Fever. Yes, Fever is coming this weekend. Yuki Narukami. So do people still play this game? Being 100% serious, but I've never played this game, but I want there to be people to play with or something. Yes, Yuki. Oh, hi, Mouse. Yes, Yuki. Some people still do play this game. Our population has been decreasing as we've been getting updates. Currently, I'd say there's probably about, you know, as for people who are like really immersed in the game and they're at the new content and they're trying to farm the latest things and they're the most up-to-date players, I'm gonna say there's around 100 of us. Like, I bet long ago there used to be about 200 players, you know, a bunch of high levels and stuff, but that number's depleting, sort of. A lot of people keep dropping out because the content gets harder and harder, things become more difficult to farm, the grind becomes more real. So there are a lot of people that play this game. I've been playing this game. This game's only been out on PS4 for about 8-9 months now. But in that regard, there's tons of people playing this game every day. If you ever go to the first town, people keep spawning in. I'd say about only 30% of people who play this game actually continue through to the end, if not less. I'm trying to fix that by making guide videos and telling people how to play the game effectively their first time and get good really quick. But yes, people play, yes and no. A lot of people play this game, but as things get more difficult and newer games come out, people do fluctuate and go do other things. But a lot of people come back to it. It's a lot of fun. So yes, people play this game, but some people quit. But there'll always be people to play with. Yuki, the player base on the PC is kinda active, but it's slowly depleting. Yeah, no, Ryujin watched that Fever Time, yeah. Yeah. You know, it all comes down to player interest. There's always something to do, even if that something is something impossible, but I mean, this game is what you make of it. Your end game is what you want it to be. People do play this game, people don't. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I play the game because it's fun. I've been playing it for like 6 months. I enjoy it. You know, I haven't jumped ship yet, so yeah, the answer to that question is, you know, it is what it is. So let's go talk about the drop tables for gems, because that's what this is about. I don't want this to be an hour long. We still don't have the gem talking about. So Furion added the drop tables for every single boss to show how they drop gems. Awesome. Okay. So we already know that there are 5% drops for certain gems. Whew. So they show all the drop tables. This is awesome. Okay. So when it comes to Myrtle gems, the 3 best things to fight are the Jiro Spider. Like I said, is a 3% drop. You know, I got it 3 times last night. So if you're looking for Myrtle gems, the best places to go are Atake, the big pirate crab, the Gaiso worm, or the Jiro Spider. Arguably, through our experiences, the Jiro Spider is the easiest to fight on Hell. These are obviously all Hell drops. So if you're looking for Myrtle gems, you're going to need a good party for the Jiro Spider. So you farm Jiro Spider. She's arguably the best gem farm in the game. I'm just going to tell you right now. Jiro Spider has a 3% chance to drop Myrtle gems on Hell, and she has a 5% chance to drop Scarlets. So those are the 2 best. She is the all-in-one place to get gems. You can pretend each of her Opais is a gem, and you're trying to get each gem. You know, you'll never forget that way. So Scarlets and Myrtles drop from Jiro Spider. You can also farm Worm, but I mean, the only people who are going to be farming Worm are people who need the Dancing Water Mogatama recipe, because it also drops from the Worm. And then you have the big crab guy, but I don't like fighting him at all. I don't like fighting him. He's like Satan with water dragon, and he scares me. So let's go look up if there's any drop tables for Cerulean. As I tried to say earlier before I saw a comment, my friend Harai has been doing the Puppet Daruma Manjaku Island about 500 times, trying to get his friggin' recipe for his 105 his 105 mags, and he's gotten about 9 Ceruleans doing that dungeon 500 times. Now, I don't know if anyone's committed to do that, but, you know, he's kind of set for ceruleans. Firefang says, what's up? Firefang, I'm making a video. Party size does not matter for gems. They just said that, Furion has said that on the wiki. Party size does not matter. So the best places to get cerulean gems. Now, albeit, when Harai get those gems are at like a Mogatama drop rate, like a 0.05. So if we look at the best places to get ceruleans, so this is for the axe people, the Odachi people, the bow people, and the staff people. And obviously you're going to need them for your veterans and stuff later on. The bosses you're going to want to farm are Aobozu, Ikari, and Inugami. So Inugami is the, you know, he's like Okami, like a white Cerberus with a paintbrush. He's arguably one of the easier ones because he's weak to darkness and you can corner him and just beat the crap out of him with restriction. And they're all 4% drops. So, you know, it's right in between 5 and 3, so 4. Pretty good, pretty good. I don't know what an Aobozu is. Its name is here, Aobozu. I think Aobozu is the chariot boss, or two-wheel drive. And then we have Ikari. What is Ikari? What is that? What is I don't know what these bosses are, because I don't need ceruleans, for the most part. I'm going to take a second to look them up. What is an Ikari? I feel like it's something really easy. Oh god, I hate that guy. Ikari is the cannon guy on Basho Island. He's not too annoying, but at the same time he kind of is. Because if his cannon hits you, it will hurt. It has bad range, but he just summons too many mobs in his dungeon. So I would not personally farm Ikari. And then we have Aobozu, who I believe is the chariot boss. Aobozu, okay. So we got Aobozu, that is, oh god, no, that is Burger King. That is the monk with the scepter. Oh my god, oh, you poor cerulean people. Oh my god, oh, I hate that guy. He'll one-shot you with Warp Kamehameha. Oh my god. That's disgusting. Oh. Did the resurrection skill? No, the resurrection skill did not come out yet. Skill cards set 7, 8, and 9 usually only come out during special events, so we do not currently have resurrection. I wish we had those skill cards, because that's Water Dragon 7, that is resurrection, that is, oh, it is a good time. I want those skill cards. I want that more than Ogies, to tell you the truth. So, those are the 3 best. So there's, what were they? I didn't like these. So there's Ikari, Aobozu, and there was, what was the last guy? And Inugami. So me personally, I would farm Inugami. You know, I got restriction Geki, I'll go beat him up. So, you know, I'll go finish my, you know, I have a friggin' Dark Heaven Embu with Collapsing Blade 7. I'll go beat him up. But Inugami, I believe Inugami is deathly weak to dark. I'm not a big fan of Aobozu though. But just to double check what Inugami is weak to, because I believe it's dark. You want to go with whatever you have the element, or whatever is easiest for you. So Inugami is, yeah, he's very weak to dark. And that's it. He's only weak to darkness. So you're going to need like restriction, collapsing blade, Sheol slash, stuff like that. Mainly restriction. And since cerulean, like bow users are going to need ceruleans, I'm going to say that bow users that have Dark Arrow Hachimens with restriction and restriction Geki, they're going to want it. You're going to want to team up with them and go beat up Inugami. That's my advice for ceruleans. So, and then Scarlets, I already said Jiro Spider is the best, but, you know, you can also fight the Jiro Spider, Atake, or the Gaiso Worm. So, with that said, let's try and find a common denominator here. Where's Myrtle? Where did my Myrtle page go? This is annoying. Myrtle. So, is that the same? Jiro, Gaiso, Atake. Okay, so if you're gonna farm Scarlets, Myrtles, they're like the same place. So the best place to get Scarlets and Myrtle is the Jiro Spider. And then I'm gonna say the best place to get Ceruleans is Inugami. You know, what's the dungeon on the islands that only drops friendships? That dungeon is Waninashi Island. That's only for the first part. Waninashi, like the first room is a bunch of stickies that don't hit you. The only thing they're gonna drop is... The only things that drop there are Spirit Incense, Friendship Items, and Magatamas. That's it. It's only until you get to the boss wave where he summons the Pirate Drumas where they'll actually drop normal drops. But there's about like 100 ants and a bunch of stuff on that island, then they'll only drop Friendship Items. Like, because if they didn't, they'd all drop like super things and they'd lag you out and it'd be really annoying. So that island only drops Friendship Items, Waninashi. So that's how that is. So, just to recap, gems are really important. You need to farm gems a crap ton times. Before I said New was a good place to get Ceruleans. It's not the best, but at the same time, the Minabia Cook is also where you can get the Spear Severance and the Spear 105 recipe, and it is the best experience farm in the game. Chances are, while you're grinding experience in that dungeon, assuming you are able to, you will come across a couple Ceruleans or a Myrtle. Maybe. You know, it is what it is. Now, there is another... I'm going to go to that Scarlet page, see if there's another big drop table for it. There currently is not. But, you know, I need to farm... for like, I'm going to make a video after this explaining where the best places to get the 105 recipes are. Because I want to talk about that now, but I want to make that as a separate video. So, gems are very, very important. You know, it's all RNG at the end of the day. It's just, you know, it's like getting gems like learning to ride a bike. You just got to keep going at it. So let me look at my bestiary here. I'm going to try and see if I can find the Jiro Spider. And I'm going to try and see how many times my group has run it. Now, I know I've ran it twice just for story. But apparently party size doesn't matter, but this is a whole different case. So we've run it on Hell like a bunch of times. I'm going to try and see how many times I've ran her. So I'm going to go name. Where is Jiro? J. Looking for Miss J. J for Jugs. Jiro Spider. Jiro Spider. Okay. 110. I've done Jiro Spider 27 times. My friend Cluster's done it at like around 100, maybe 200 times. I don't know. Something ridiculous. I've done it 27 times. No. Well, I want to read this bestiary. Terrifying yokai with the body of a massive spider and a human head. There's more to that than just a head. They're said to bewitch men with the appearance before binding them in webs and possessing them as food or turning them into their thralls. Oddly enough, there's also a rumor that they say Jiro spiders tend to work out a lot and choose its meals carefully in order to preserve its beauty. Who knows? Maybe they're unexpectedly into girly things. Maybe we could become friends. I mean, you know, it is what it is. So I've killed the Jiro Spider 27 times. I have gotten 4 gems from said spider. If we were to do math, it would dictate that you get a gem 1 in every 5 runs. At the same time, their drop chance is 5%. Statistically, you would get a gem 1 in every 20 runs. Statistically. This is Onigiri. Statistics don't work. Yeah. So, Jiro Spider is the best place to get Myrtles and Scarlets. And I'm going to say Inugami is the best place to get Ceruleans. Now, these gems are deathly important. You're going to need them the rest of your life. So, Fever's coming this weekend. You guys got 3 options for Fever. 1, get gems. 2, get more gems. 3, get Mogatama recipes. No, we're going to put that in a different order. 1, get Mogatama recipes. 2, get gems. 3, get Magatamas. 4 Magatamas. 4, get gems. 5, get more gems. Like, Fever's coming this weekend. Apparently, that's what I've been told. I haven't seen an official post yet, but that's what I've been told. And that's tomorrow, because the weekend is tomorrow. So, yeah, gems. I mean, yeah, gems. Because I know that once I get one Scarlet, I have a Thunderquake. And then I won't have mags to make anything else. So it's going to be, for me, it's going to be gems. As long as my friends are running gems, I'll do a whole day of gems. My God. But then the rest of the weekend is just going to be Naki Cave and mag farming. I need some mags. I got a full remag yesterday and I'm pretty happy. Oh my God. So, this video's gone on 50 minutes. I thank all the viewers we've had, all the questions and the comments. It was a great time. I'm going to cut this video off here, and I'm going to probably come back after lunch, and we're going to talk about the best places to get the 105 Mogatama recipes. So, peace out. Happy farming. I hope to see you guys on Fever. So, bye.